warm-up remaining, 1 minute. That brings warm-up to a close. Thank you for your cooperation during that warm-up period. Competition due to start in 5 minutes.
Well, just before the start of session 8, once again, it's time to welcome out our referees and starters. Your referee and technical director for this session, Joanne Wheeler. And your 2 referees, David Metcalf and Stuart Murray. And your starter for this session, Greg Peddle. Well, we've got the 200-metre breaststroke in the women's, the 100-metre in the butterfly for the men's, before finishing off with the 400-metre freestyle in the women's. All of that coming up very shortly in session 8. This is the women's 200-metre breaststroke, heat number 1. Well, it's lights out and away we go then in this opening heat for the 200 breaststroke. We have 7 of these overall. And let's have a look who we've got in the pool from lanes 1 to 7, so not quite a complete selection. We have in lane 1 Holly Hayes of Braintree and Booking, Jemima Kimber of Linslade Crusaders, Molly Bartub of Cheshunt, in lane 4, we have Sutika Totalibana of West Norfolk. Also of West Norfolk, we have Millie Harris, followed by Alice Watts of City of Cambridge, and Isabel Jarman of Witham Dolphins. Everyone in the pool aged 15, and our fastest time is lane 4, Sutika Totalibana, with a time of 2:54.99, coming into this opening heat. into the final 25 metres or so of this one. And it's out in lane 6. Alice Watts of City of Cambridge. Definitely not the fastest time coming into this. In fact, it was the joint 4th fastest. But she has a commanding lead here coming in to the final couple of metres. In fact, she is a country mile ahead and claims a time of 2:58.63 in lane 6. Almost 4 seconds bang on faster than lane 4. So Alice Watts for a time of 2:58.63 has the fastest time. Heat number 2. So in heat number 2 then, we have ages ranging from 15 to 17. The only 17-year-old we have, Evie Jameson in lane 4. What about the rest of the runners then? We have in lane 1, Alice Green of Hatfield, Kira Broad of West Suffolk, Amelia Porzio of Putteridge. Once again, Evie Jameson of Hollow Penguins in lane 4. Sadie Rowe in lane 5 of Colchester. Bethany Crawley in lane 6 from Team Ipswich, followed by Hannah Lovelock of Hitchin. And finally, Holly Larby of Putteridge in lane 8. 2:52.88 was the time to beat. That is from Evie Jameson. At the moment, she is not in the lead. In fact, I believe it is lane 8, Holly Larby, who is just out in front as they come into my eye line just about here. And a close action between 6, 7 and 8. Crawley, Lovelock and Larby at the end of this opening 100 metres. Once again, a quick hello to you all on the live stream, wherever you are in the world watching. We do hope you are enjoying these opening heats. Our finals coming up this afternoon. And at the moment, Hannah Lovelock in lane 7 with a time of 1:24.86 has the lead. Well, now we do have confirmation that Alice Green of Hatfield in lane 1 did not start, so we do only have the 7 swimmers taking part. And at the moment, it is now Sadie Rowe that has gone into a slender advantage. Sorry, my apologies. It is Bethany Crawley who's in a slender advantage in lane 6. Her in the blue cap who turns around at that 150 metre mark with a time of 2:10.98, just about 2.4 seconds ahead of lane 2's Kira Broad. .25 metres to go then of this 200 breaststroke heat 2. And still it remains Bethany Crawley out in front for Team Ipswich. She hasn't travelled a long way to get here. And she isn't that far in front actually of Broad or Porzio, but does claim a time of 2:58.26 in the second heat to hopefully get herself into the final later today. Heat number 3. Well, Heat 3 then, we have the following from lanes 1 down to 8, as we have got everyone competing. After the following, well, the last 2 heats only had 7 competitors. So in lane 1, we have Tia Hill of City of Ely Amateur. Lane 2, Caitlin McNichols of Devon. Lane 3, Harrison Mirror of City of St Albans. Tamsin Moran of Berkhamsted is in lane 4. Veronica Mikolajewska in lane 5 of City of Peterborough. Lane 6, Amelia Murphy of Witham Dolphins. Lane 7, Chloe Simpson of Watford. And finally in lane 8, Miriam Muqdad of Bishops Stortford. Ages between the age of 17 and 18, with 2 16-year-olds and a 15-year-old taking part. The youngest being City of Peterborough's Veronica Mikolajewska in lane 5. Although despite being the youngest in this heat, she does have the second fastest seed time. And in fact, is the first fastest at the moment in the pool after the 100-metre mark with a time of 1:24.79. Well, coming into the final stages of Heat 3 then. And it is the blue capped out in that central lane. Lane number 5. He was absolutely tanked it really from start to finish. And will claim a time of 2:52.49 for Veronica Mikolajewska. Just a second above her seed time, but 9 seconds above second place Amelia Murphy in lane 6. Heat number 4. Well then in lanes 1 down to 8 we have Ava Wilson of Newhall, Molly Lee of West Norfolk. Of West Suffolk then in lane 3 we have Elizabeth Wright, Megan Gray of Hatfield. Lane 4 followed by Jessica Sanford of Norwich Swan, Molly Grieve of Colchester, Olivia Riley of Hatfield and Ellen Duffield of Team Ipswich. 25 metres to go then in heat number 4. And it is in lane number 4 with Megan Gray, the 16-year-old of Hatfield. Came in with a time of 2:45.79. And she's in a very commanding lead in that pink cap, coming into the final 10 metres now. The nearest swimming to her is out in lane 1, but they won't catch her. 2:50.97 for Megan Gray in lane number 4 to end off heat number 4. Heat number 5. Well, off and underway then in heat number 5. We just have 2 more after this of the 200-metre breaststroke before we moved into the fast-paced 100-metre butterfly. Well, fast-paced compared to the breaststroke anyway. In lanes 1 down to 5, then we have Macy Dexter, 17-year-old from City of Cambridge. Chloe Butler, the 19-year-old from St Ives. Sarah O'Brien, the 27-year-old of West Norfolk. Caitlin Hartley, the 19-year-old of Hatfield. Kirsty Neal, the 16-year-old of Bishop Stortford. Isabella Pausio, the 19-year-old of Putteridge. Georgina Hamilton of City of St Albans. And Ellen Eccleston of North Norfolk Vikings, the 16-year-old there in lane 8. Well, once again then it is lane 4, that's Caitlin Hartley of Hatfield, the 19-year-old, came with a time of 2:31.6. She's just about half of that at the halfway mark with 1:16.64. She continues that, she'll end up with a nice time of 2:33. Well, into the final 50 metres we go then, and Caitlin Hartley is still in that lead, just below 2 minutes at the 150 mark with a 158.25. Everyone else in the pool putting those above 2-minute times in. So it's looking good at the minute for Hartley, the 19-year-old. Well, she won't quite beat that seed time that she came in with of 2:31.6, but with a time of 2:39.97, Caitlin Hartley gets the fastest time by about 2.5 seconds over Kirsty Neal in lane 2. Heat number 6. Well then, in heat 6, we have Lily Davis in lane 1 of City of Peterborough, Charlotte White in lane 2 of West Southwark, Gracie Parker of Basildon Phoenix in lane 3, Beth Young from Team Ipswich lane 4, lane 5 Matilda Ramsey of City of Cambridge, lane 6 Daisy Mixer of Norwich Swan, from the City of Norwich Ellie Smith, and finally once again from Norwich Swan, Isla Hamilton. And in front at the moment, lane 1 in P1, that is Lily Davis, 118.79 at the 100 metre mark, with just over 75 metres to go. Final 25 metres then, and out in lane 4 in the lead is Beth Young, the 17-year-old of Team Ipswich Swimming. Came in a time of 2:31.35. Once again, she won't quite beat that as we just tick over that time into 2:33, 2:34. But she is still in that very nice commanding lead ahead of lanes 5 and lanes 1, and she'll claim a time of 2:41.7 in heat 6. Heat number 7. Well then, in heat 7 we have the following. Lane 1 down to 8, Lauren Gore of Bishop Stortford. Also Bishop Stortford we have Ella Greatmatch. City of Cambridge we have Rebecca Keatley. Molly Monk then of City of Norwich in lane 4. Ruby Wheeler of Basildon Phoenix. Isabel Cameron of City of Peterborough. Lexi O'Connor of Basildon Phoenix. And Caitlin Richardson of Norwich Swan. .25 metres to go then, and out in that middle lane, Molly Monk, the 19-year-old of City of Norwich, is in the lead at the moment. As we just tick over to 2 minutes 30 gone on the clock. But it will be Molly Monk in lane 4, who claims a time of 2:37.95 in this final heat of the girls 200 fly. Well, this is the men's 100 meter butterfly heat number 1. So literally one end of the pool and then back again. So we have Harry Arnold Pepper, Reese Burns, Ethan Thompson, Ernest Juvedenu, Theodore Monk, Naeem Harvey and Mark Evans taking part in this opening heat, with the entirety of the pool 15-year-olds apart from Mark Evans with a category S14. The 27-year-old in lane 7. Well, our front runner coming into this was Ernest Juvedenu, who came in with a time of 105.82 in lane 4. But it won't be him that claims the fastest time in this opening heat. It will go to lane 3, which we do have a slight delay on at the time. Ethan Thompson with a time of 107.34 gets the fastest time in this opening heat. Heat number 2. So then in heat 2, we have the following: Harry Cooper, George Prince, Louis Allen, Noah Mann, Marcus King, Hugo Rutsterbeck-Smith, Saxon Minto and Ross de Wilt. And into the closing stages, it will be lane 4's Noah Mann, who gets a time of 104.09. Heat number 3. Well, in heat 3, then we have Jacob Ray, Reese Burrow, Daniel Williams, Archie Rann, Evan McQuaid, Rowan Brennan, George Taylor and Orlando Deering. And at the turn, it is lane 1's Jacob Ray in the lead with a time of 28.7 after 50 metres. So he is heading for a sub 60-second time if he can keep this impressive pace up for Basildon and Phoenix. Coming up right on the opposite side of the pool in lane 8. Who will get there first? It is lane 8 by about 1/10 of a second. Orlando Deering with a time of 102.88 with the fast time in heat 3. Heat number 4. We have then Billy Seal, Oscar Winterburn, Isaac Ferlugier, Ewan Thompson, Darrell Rands, Daniel Meyer, Olivia Scrimshaw and Finley Kiernan in this heat number 4. And it's out in lane 4. Seems to keep happening that. Lane 4 wins heat 4. And that has happened once again with Ewan Thompson, 102.3 for the St. Ives-based swimmer. Heat number 5. Well, in heat 5 then of this 100 fly, we are at the halfway point as we have 10 of these overall. We have Daniel Kendall, Joshua Sakri, Robert Addis, Sam Perkins, Oliver Blight, Colin Bossianu, Ben Minister and Toby Martin. And out on this near side, lane 8, Toby Martin, 101.76. We're getting closer to those sub 60-second times at the end of heat 5. Heat number 6. Well, in heat 6 then, from 1 down to 8, we have Kian Lee, Timon Chapman, Ryan Close, Zach Throwman, Rio Rogers, Charlie Barrett, Jack Barnard and Billy Mead. And the fastest time, nearly 60 seconds there with a 1 minute .69. Kian Lee out in lane 1. Heat number 7. Well, to the tail end then of Heat 7, we have O'Connor, Karani, Hall, Brown, Shepherd, Kapoor, McQuaid and Abram from 15 years old all the way up to 20. And it will be lane 6 with a time of 1.00.08 for 20-year-old Devish Kapoor of City of Norwich. Heat number 8. Well, in Heat 8 then we have Jensen Horrell, Luca Page, Callum Cox, Jake Thomas Mansfield, Maddox Roberts, Joseph Baby, Lewis Chapman and Joseph Grice. Well, Jake Thomas Mansfield did not start this race, so coming into the tail end it will be with a time of 59.72. Maddox Roberts in lane 5. Heat number 9. Well then in this heat number 9, penultimate one, because we only have one more left in these 100 flies before we move on to the 400 freestyles. We have Jason Ho, Oliver Pike, Callum Davis, Matthew Aldred, Matthew Baker, Marine de Villard, Damon Elliott and Harrison Shaw. And out in lane 4, Matthew Aldred, the 18-year-old from Watford, gets a time of 57.48. The best time that we have seen thus far. heat number 10. Well, we have Louis James, Kai Adams, Nikita Chalikin, Harry Jones, Henry Dean, Rufus Bennett, Samuel Peck and Joseph Wells in this final heat number. And it is a very close battle between Jones and Dean. Harry versus Henry. But it will be lane 4's Harry Jones to come out on top. 58.5 seconds at the end of these 100 flies. This is the women's 400 metre freestyle heat number 1. Well, we're off and underway in this opening heat, and we do have some of our category swimmers taking part. We have in lane 3 down to 6, Lily Herring, 15-year-old from Norfolk Vikings. Lane 4, Olivia Mendham of Chelmsford. Lane 5, Abigail Wickens of Flitwick Dolphins. And lane 6, also of Flitwick Dolphins, Ida Corrigan. This being our opening heat of these 400s, with 6 of these to go through until the end of the session. And now I do have time just to announce some finalists for the 200 breaststroke. So, Ella Greatbatch, Gracie Parker, Ellie Smith, Veronica Mikolajewska, Georgina Hamilton, Ava Wilson, Isla Hamilton and Bethany Crawley. With your reserves, Alice Watts and Amelia Porzigo. That's for the 15 years, 200 metre breaststroke, should I say. In the 16 years age group, we have Kirsty Neal, Lily Davis, Isabel Cameron, Lexi O'Connor, Ellen Eccleston, Megan Gray, Elizabeth Wright and Amelia Murphy. With your reserves, Holly Larby and Harrison Moreau. In the 17 years and over category, we have Molly Monk, Caitlin Hartley, Rebecca Keatley, Beth Young, Chloe Butler, Matilda Ransom, Ruby Wheeler and Daisy Mixer. With your reserves, Sarah O'Brien and Charlotte White. Well, final 25 metres for one of our competitors. That is Olivia Mendham in lane 4. She came in with a time of 4:49.22. And she'll get just a little bit over that in lane 4 with a time of 5:05.15. Well, still going, and we have Lily Herring, Abigail Wickens and Ida Corrigan. And getting that second place, 5:57.88, is Abigail Wickens. And then next across the line, Lily Herring, 5:45.24. Well, into the final 50 metres then from Flitwick Dolphins. It's Ida Corcoran, the 14-year-old. Yeah, let's give her a round of applause. Cheer her on to the end. Great to see that sportsmanship around the arena this morning. And as she comes to the end and claims a time of 6:54.12, that's the end of Heat 1. Heat number 2. Well, just a quick announcement for some medal winners. Will the following names please go down to the medal table to collect your medals? With the bronze, we have Harry Arnold Pepper. In the silver, we have Rio Rogers. And in the gold, from Basel and Phoenix, we have Rowan Brennan. Once again then, we also have some finals to announce. So, Rufus Bennett, Joshua Shepherd, Keane Lee, Ollie O'Connor, Ryan Close, Oscar Winterbum, Orlando Deering and Joshua Zachary. Your reserves, Kaylin Bossiano and Daniel Williams, who've made it through into the men's 100-metre butterfly final. In the 16 years, we have Harrison Shaw, Riley Hall, Oliver Pike, Toby Martin, Zach Tloman, Jacob Ray, Isaac Farugia, and Noah Mann. With your reserves, Archie Ran and Reese Burrell. And then in the 17 years category, we have Matthew Aldred, Harry Jones, Henry Dean, Matthew Baker, Marion Davillard, Maddox Roberts, Joseph Grice and Joseph Bavey. With your reserves, Callum Cox and Devesh Kapoor. And just a reminder to all swimmers and coaches, you do have until 11:50 to avoid a penalty with your withdrawals for the finalists and reserves for the 100 fly. Final 50 metres then of this 400 metre heat number 2. And out in the lead, that is Aislinn Foley right in lane 4, the 16-year-old of Basildon Phoenix. Tearing ahead now, in fact. She came in with a time of 4:46, we've just gone over that now. She finishes up in lane 4 with a time of 4:52.71. Heat number 3. Well, in lanes 1 down to 8 then, we have Poppy Magill, Olivia Minette, Ella Dawson, Amelia Porzio, Lily Hayward, Amelia Saunders, Sadie Hunter and Genevieve White. Final 100 metres then, and out in front in lane 2, that is Olivia Minette. Has his arm at the moment, 3:34.12, came in with a time of 4:43.74. Definitely not one of the fastest times seed-wise, but she is hanging on at the moment as a 15-year-old from the city of Peterborough. Final couple of metres then, and out in lane 2. Is it just edging out in front in the end? No, just about nicking it by 200 of a second. That is in lane 6, Amelia Saunders, 4:45.18 in heat 3. Heat number 4. Well, in heat 4 then from Newhall School Swim Academy, we have Ava Wilson, followed by Romilly Marks of Newmarket District, Kaylin Hare of Watford, Ravanica Mikolajewska of City of Peterborough, Lisa Lenneman of Chelmsford, Olivia Church of Thurrock, Lila Howard of Team Luton, and finally Darcy Gladwell of Team Ipswich. Final 100 metres in, and it's Lisa Leineman in lane 5. A time of 3:30.18, taking the lead ahead of Olivia Church and Veronika Mikulajewska in lane 6 and lane 4. Those are your top 3 at this current stage. And into the final couple of metres then, it is a comfortable fastest time there for lane 5, Lisa Leineman, 4:40.12 in heat number 4. Closely followed 5 seconds later by Veronika Mikulajewska. Heat number 5.
Coach or representative from Ware, please. Ware Swimming Club to the timing suite.
Well, let's have a look then what's cracking off in heat number 5, the penultimate one before we have our timed final. We have Jessica Jane Applegate, 27-year-old from City of Norwich, Ruby Chapman, 17-year-old from Norwich Swan, Abigail Crawley, 18-year-old from Team Ipswich, Alexa Mann, 17-year-old from Chelmsford, Lexi Goodman, 16-year-old from Basildon Phoenix, Anna McLeod, the 15-year-old from Putterdge, Adele Zosruski of City of Norwich, the 20-year-old, and also another 20-year-old, Olivia Fletcher of Basildon Phoenix. Okay, we've got about 125 metres to go. Then confirmation of Adele Zakluski of the city of Norwich, 20-year-old, did not start. At the moment in lane 4, that is Alexa Mann, the 17-year-old from Chelmsford. He came in with a time of 4:32.55. Out in front now with 100 metres to go. She turns around with a time of 3:26.13. In the lead, closely followed in lane 6 by Annie McLeod and in lane 1 by Jessica Jane Applegate. .50 metres to go then, and Alexa Mann has a 3-second advantage over lane 6's Annie McLeod. An advantage seems to be growing now, coming into the final 25. And it's been pretty comfortable from start to finish for the Chelmsford City-based swimmer. And there we go in lane number 4 with a time of 4:34.21. A 4-second lead in the end over McLeod in lane 6. This is our timed final and heat number 6. In lane 1, we have Francesca Baber. Lane 2, Sky Carter. Lane 3, Kate Cotter. Lane 4, Ruby Wheeler. Lane 5, Sasha Thomas. Lane 6, Matilda Bogle. Lane 7, Sophie Dowding. And lane 8, Grace Greenhoff. This is the women's 400-meter freestyle timed final. Well, our fan underway then, and it's timed final. We have Francesca Baber, the 17-year-old from City of Cambridge. Sky Carter, the 16-year-old from Basel and Phoenix. Kate Cotter, also 16 of Chelmsford City. Ruby Wheeler of Basel and Phoenix, the 17-year-old. Sasha Thomas, the 20-year-old from Norwich Swan. Matilda Bogle, the 17-year-old from Team Ipswich Swimming. Also from Team Ipswich, we also have Sophie Dowding, the 16-year-old in lane 7, followed by in lane 8, Grace Greenhoff, the 16-year-old of City of Norwich. And at the moment, in a lead of 4/100ths of a second, that is Sasha Thomas in lane 5, just about beating Grace Greenhoff over on this near side in lane 8, going into the final 25 metres then of this one. And in lane 4 and 5, it's looking fairly close. And it looks as if it's lane 5 at the minute. Sasha Thomas, who's had that lead going into the final 50 metres and still has it now going into the final 10 metres or so. Just about to the end now. Neck and neck between Kate Connor and her. And as they turn around going into the final 300 metres still, it looks as if Sasha Thomas has that slender advantage by about 8/100ths of a second. All at the 200 metre mark, Kate Cotter in lane 3 has taken a lead with a time of 2:12.39, about 0.2 of a second ahead. Let's rejoin the race then with 100 metres to go of this time final. Matilda Bogle now on the lead, 3:19.882 seconds in front of Kate Cotter out in lane 3. And there she goes, the blue-capped swimmer, giving her absolute all for Team Ipswich. Not too far away for the 17-year-old to come. It won't be too far away for her to take her victorious medal back with her if she can hold on. So out in lane 6, about a swimmer's body in front with a time of 3:52.88. 50 metres to go now, and she has nearly a 3-second advantage over Kate Cotter. She came in with a time of 4:23.74. That was 5 seconds slower than our front runner Ruby Wheeler from Basildon Phoenix in lane 4. This has been a really impressive swim so far from Matilda. Can she hold on coming into the final couple of metres? I think we all know the answer. The answer to that is a big fat yes for Matilda Bogle in lane 6. 4:25.51. A 4-second victory over Kate Connor in lane 2. And then third place goes to Sky Carter, 4:34.91. But once again, let's hear it for our winner, Matilda Bogle. That
you've been swim down until 1/4 past.
Well, and that brings an end then to this session. If you're on the live stream, we'll be back with you shortly for session 9. And to everyone else in the venue, you feel free to go and get yourselves a tea, a coffee, a bit of lunch, whatever it may be. And we'll be back shortly for our warm-ups.